There is a place called Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu. In Tiruvannamalai, there is an ashramam called Ramanashramam. This Ramanashramam is a very famous ashramam. It is known throughout the country. And Ramanashramam is named after a great sage called Ramanamaharshi. Ramanamaharshi, he was from Tiruchi. He belonged to a high family. Ramanamaharshi belonged to a noble family. His father was an advocate, and he was enjoying all sorts of pleasure from the childhood days itself. But he thought in a separate manner. He always prayed Arunachala, Arunachala, that is Shiva. And he was thinking about Tiruvannamalai. It is a great mountain stretch from one end to the other end. Mountain range, a long mountain range. And beneath it, there is a Shiva temple also. Even from the childhood days, this boy had a spiritual fervor. He was a highly religious minded person. He went to the school but remained quiet. He never mingled with other students. When other students go to the playground for playing, he used to remain in the classroom. The students thought that he was sleeping, but actually he was meditating. Once the students came by the side of Ramanamaharshi. He was called as Venkataraman. That was his original name. So students came by his side, shook him, and tried to disturb him, but he remained quiet. He never regained consciousness. He forgets the outward world. That was the state of Venkataraman. Once he left his house, that is when he was a student in the school days, he left his house and he went to Tiruvannamalai alone by train. He went to Tiruvannamalai and sat in a cave called Virupaksha cave. He meditated. He always thought of Arunachalesha. He had no other option. So the meditation continued for days. There was yet another yogi and saint nearby. His name was Sheshadri Swamigal. He had intuitive power, a power of sixth sense. With that, he knew that there is a boy sitting inside the Guruvaksha cave and meditating. Days and days are going, and this should not be allowed to continue. We have to stop it, because this boy should live for long years, and he will be helpful for others in future. He has come to this world for doing good to humanity. So during this time, his body was bitten by ants, mosquitoes, and the blood starts coming out from the body. Even though these things happened on his body, this Ramana Maharshi was really unaware of these things. Whatever things happened to his body, he was not knowing the fact, because he always think of the self. He has written a book also, Who Am I? He was deeply interested in the self-inquiry or self-awareness. So he always thinks of the self. So he is not knowing the things outside. So Sheshadri Sami, with the help of Mudaliya, he was a very rich man. He called Mudaliya, and both of them lifted him from the Virupaksha cave, and just he was taken to by the side of a river. There, both of them bathed Ramana Maharshi. Only after a long time that he got consciousness. He woke up from the state of meditation. Ramana Maharshi's mother knew that Ramana Maharshi was sitting in the Tiruvannamalai area. So he became thoroughly depressed. He wanted to bring his son back to the house. He wanted his son to continue the education. Ramana Maharshi's mother wanted Ramana Maharshi to become an officer. With that intention in mind, Ramana Maharshi's mother approached this Maharshi and persuaded him. She tried her level best to persuade him to take him back to the house. But he was not ready to do so. One day, Ramana Maharshi's mother came with his brother, that is Venkataraman's uncle, and they forcibly had taken him to the railway station, and they pushed him and to inside the train, because they wanted to take him to their home. But Ramana Maharshi said that he is not willing to come. What happened? It was a time for the train to start, but the engine driver failed to move. The train was not moving. It was there as such. So Venkataraman said, if you allow me to go out, then only the train will start. At last, this mother and his uncle, they had to obey the instruction of Venkataraman. They allowed him to go out. And when he went out of the train, the train started moving. And thirdly, Ramana Maharshi's teachers came there. They pleaded, requested him to come back. An English grammar teacher and a mathematics teacher. They constantly requested Ramana Maharshi, but he remained unmoved. He sarcastically said, with humor, Ramana Maharshi said, there, that means at Trichy, I was really fed up with you. You have behaved in a very bad manner. You have insulted me. You have beaten me a lot. Afraid of you people, I came here. I fled from the homeland. Here I came to see Bhagavan. Please allow me to sit here peacefully. So, the grammar teacher and the mathematics teacher, they also went away. Finally, Ramanamaharshi's mother came and requested him to come back. Oh Venkatarama, do you know, this time I am coming with a very horrible news, very sad news. Your father expired. Now I am alone there. There is nobody to help me. But he remained in a state of mauna. He remained quiet without saying a single word. At last, what happened? Ramana Maharshi's mother said, I am not going. I want to see my son always. I want to live with my son forever. Then Ramana Maharshi allowed her to stay with her. There was an ashramam there at Tiruvannamalai. Ramana Maharshi's mother lived with him. Ramana Maharshi considered his mother as a disciple. His mother understood Ramana well. He was not an ordinary son. He was an extraordinary man, a great ascetic. She bowed before him and prayed before him. Not only that, Ramana Maharshi had also due respect towards his mother, because this particular woman, he was responsible for my birth, and they stayed together as a guru and disciple. After some time, the mother went away, passed away. He had attained samadhi, and with the help of Ramana Maharshi, puja ceremonies were conducted. He was a great man. Ramana Maharshi was a great sage, and he had siddhis also. Many animals and ferocious animals, they came to his side and went without doing anything. They obeyed him. He had such a kind of power, meditative power. I had a chance to visit Tiruvannamalai. Only once in my life I visited this Ramanashramam. Soon I had to come from there. It was a very nice place. Many great leaders came there in order to accept the blessings of the Guru. Even Mahatma Gandhiji had conversation with him. Great personalities in India, they were his disciples. When he attained Samadhi, nearly 2000 persons attended this funeral ceremony. So this is all about Sri Ramana Maharshi.